The offseason is officially here for the New York Knicks after their Game 7 loss to the Indiana Pacers. And on today's video, we're going to react to the reports coming out from SHAMS Charania of The Athletic, saying that there are teams across the NBA monitoring the situation of Julius Randle. And if the Knicks are going to make a big-time trade, he thinks Randle could be the player leaving town. Before we talk the offseason, though, I first just want to thank every single person that is tuned into Knicks Now throughout the 2023-2024 season. Even if it was just for a second or for you to say some hurtful things in the comments, I appreciate it. This is my favorite part about my job, is getting to talk about the Knicks every single day to millions of people. And the 2023-2024 season for Knicks Now was special. We did 82 watch parties. We picked up 19.9 thousand subscribers and over 4.8 million views. It was an unbelievable season. It was my favorite season as a Knicks fan, and the fact that I got to spend it with you guys every single day through the ups and the downs, it makes it all worth it. And you know what? I'm not ready to put a bow on the season, but it's about that time. The season is over, and we are on to the next. And this is just the start for the New York Knicks. They are in a great position to get better and better and better as each season goes on. They are young. They have their draft picks, and they have the ability to make multiple big-time trades if they want to. We'll talk more about the season at the tail end of the show, but we're not going anywhere. So if you're looking for free, informative, entertaining updates every day this offseason, subscribe and turn your notifications on. Are the New York Knicks going to trade Julius Randle this offseason? We'll break that down on today's show. I'm your host, Marshall Green. I'll also tell you what is next for the New York Knicks. But when Shams Charania speaks about a trade involving Randle and the New York Knicks, even if it's less than 24 hours after the Knicks season was officially ended, it is my job to talk about it. And this is what Shams Charania said, quote, "The Knicks, they're going to continue to be aggressive. They are looking for that next player if he is available. Julius Randle, extension eligible. Teams are monitoring the situation. Randle's got the number when it comes to salary if you are looking to make a big trade." And first and foremost, the New York Knicks, whether it's about Randle, OG, Hartenstein, Bojan Bogdanovic, the two picks that they own in the 2024 NBA draft, Leon Rose and crew, have very difficult decisions to make this summer that are very close to approaching. The NBA draft is less than a month away. And NBA free agency is about a month and 2 weeks away. Before you know it, in a month and a half, we are going to know who's on this basketball team for the 2024-2025 season. And the Knicks, the first decision they need to make is, do they want to run it back with Randle, Brunson, and OG? And you know what? I think there's a lot of reasons that they should. My guy on Twitter, Tommy Beer, check him out. One of the most insightful follows, put out some great information on the Knicks in January with a healthy Brunson, Randle, OG, Hart, and Dante DiVincenzo. In the 16 games that OG, Randle, and Brunson played together, they were 14-2, the number one record in the NBA. Their defensive rating, 104.4, first in the NBA. Their net rating, plus 15.8, meaning that they were better by 15.8 points per 100 possession than than their opponents. That's first in the NBA. The rebound percentage, 54.8%, number one in the NBA. And in those 14 wins, the New York Knicks, on average, won by 15.5 points per game. That's beating teams like the Minnesota Timberwolves, beating teams like the Denver Nuggets, beating a Philadelphia 76ers team with Joel Embiid, with Tyrese Maxey by 36 points. The New York Knicks were the best team in the NBA when Randle, Brunson, and OG were together. But it was in January. And at the end of the day, it really means nothing. But trying to come up with a decision on if they should continue to run it back, I think you need to put a microscope on Randle and his performance prior to the OG trade and after the OG trade. And there's not that much of a difference, but I think that you see something apparent. More assists. He was more willing to move the ball. He was more efficient from two, and also much more efficient from three, and he averaged more points per game. So he was a better scorer on higher efficiency while also being a better creator for other. That three-headed monster was an unbelievable trio. OG, Brunson, and Randle. There's a reason they were 14-2 in that stretch, and they were the number one team in the NBA. And Randle, it felt like, was on track to be all NBA again. He was named an all-star. He was giving you his 25, 10, and 5, shooting better than 45% from the field. Julius Randle was playing a great season. And it felt like this was going to be the year for Julius where he was going to have success in the postseason. It felt like the game that he was playing and the way that he was being productive was more translatable to the way that the playoffs unfolded. And I can only imagine, and really I can only think about that he was going to have success because it was set on a plate perfectly for him. He didn't have to do everything. He really didn't. He had Brunson and he had Joe G, as well as a great team around him. I will say this, though. The Knicks' identity changed as a ball club after Julius Randle got hurt. Obviously, you lost some offensive scoring power. You lost an all-NBA talent. You lost a guy you could throw the ball to on the block and say, go get me 30. They lost that. But they became more of a Josh Hart team. They became more of a grit and grind team. They became one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. And they were more of a Jalen Brunson team. They were Jalen Brunson-centric on offense. And whether if you think that's good or whether you think that's bad, I think the Knicks played a better brand of basketball when Randle got hurt. I'm not saying the Knicks were better than him. I just thought the process was a little bit better. It felt like their IQ was a little bit better. It felt like they tried a little bit harder because they had to, because they didn't have Julius Randle. And they became a defensive-minded team. When you can roll out a lineup of Hartenstein, OG, Hart, and DiVincenzo, you're going to be one of the best defensive teams in the league. And that's what they were. You lost some. You also changed a little bit. Can you add Randle back into the mix? I think you can. And I still believe that if the Knicks run it back next year with Randle, OG, and Brunson, they're going to be once again competing to get to the conference finals. And I honestly believe the NBA finals. We'll talk more about Randle and we'll put a bow on the season to close today's show. But do you think the Knicks should trade Julius Randle? It's a loaded question. I don't have an answer to it yet. It's not even 24 hours into the offseason. But that's what we're faced with right now. Do you think the Knicks should trade Randle? Type T for trade, type P for pass. We'll talk more Randle and we'll talk about the disappointing Game 7 loss. But first, I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Chubbies. Go to chubbyshorts.com/chat and use that promo code chat, and they're going to hook you up with 20% off your first purchase. All that information will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's video. Big shout out to Chubbies. They sent me some gear, and I've been to the pool. I've been out with my friends. I've gone out to dinner, and you can wear Chubbies in every single situation. It's skies out, thighs out. Summer is right around the corner, and our friends at Chubbies are bringing the good vibrations. Chubbies is a lifestyle apparel brand that makes every moment feel like a vacation. They say fashion is an expression of one's character, so why not let the world know you're down for a good time? I'm always someone that struggled to find the bathing suit or the pair of shorts that fit awesome, and that wasn't until I got hooked up with Chubbies. And for a limited time, Chubbies is giving our Knicks Now listeners 20% off your order with our exclusive code CHAT. Use code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com/chat. Chubbies offers a variety of high-quality men's apparel from super stretchy shorts and swim trunks in 3 different short inseams lengths to pants, polos, and button-down shirts for when you need to hit your favorite weekend brunch spot. Whether you're getting dressed for your workday, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time offer, Chubbies is giving our viewers 20% off your order with our code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com/chat. That's chubbyshorts.com/chat. Use the promo code CHAT and get 20% off your order. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubbies. My initial take on this Julius Randle discussion and trying to answer my own question of if the Knicks should trade him starts with this right here. I'm not trading Julius Randle just to trade him. I'm not just shipping him out of town to say that we did it. And you know what? At one point, I felt like the Knicks needed to do that. They're not in that spot anymore. They are a much better ball club, and they have a clear direction, foundation, and really just an identity. And you don't trade an all-NBA player just to trade him. But if you can get back an all-star, which may be hard, or you get a guy that can help this team the same, then you at least have to entertain that discussion. And if the Knicks are going big game hunting, like Shams Charania talked about, and like we have quotes from Fred Katz of The Athletic mentioning, you're probably going to have to trade Julius Randle because of his salary. And as we know at this point, if you want to make a big-time trade for a big-time player that makes a lot of big-time money, you got to give up a big-time salary. And Julius Randle is going to be making $30.3 million in 2024 with a player option in 2025 at $32.4 million. Knicks need to decide if they want to give him an extension, if they want to keep him, let him play out the final year of guaranteed money, or what they're going to do. And it's going to be quick. It's right around the corner. If the Knicks do make a big trade, though, I do feel as if Julius Randle is the guy that's going to be involved in that trade, and he's going to be the one sent out. I think that if I had to guess, Randle and Robinson are two players that are probably the most likely to be moved on from this team, and maybe even Deuce McBride, and that hurts me to say that. But that's just what I believe, what I've been told, and what I am hearing at this current moment. Fred Katz of The Athletic, an amazing beat reporter for the Knicks, says, quote, "The Knicks are still targeting summer as a time to trade for the next big name." Sources tell The Athletic, even the Knicks don't know who it is. Quote, "Someone unexpected always becomes available." Cat, Paul George, Donovan Mitchell, a Suns retool. Front office realizes you got to supply Tibbs with Tibbs-minded players. And we've already got ESPN coming up with top trade targets for the New York Knicks. They have listed Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Donovan Mitchell. Welcome to the offseason, baby. Welcome to the offseason. There's going to be a lot of talk on this channel about news and rumors. That is my job. My job is to talk about the trending topics around this team. We'll be on free agency, the NBA draft, as well as the NBA trade market. Enough offseason talk. Let's talk about what is next for the New York Knicks while also taking a look back at what happened. Some free agents the Knicks will have. Isaiah Hartenstein is a free agent. That is a major decision the Knicks are going to have to make a decision on, and there's only a ceiling they can go. Alec Burks, he's a free agent. Precious Achiuwa is a free agent. Shake Milton, and OG is a free agent, has a player option. He will decline that. Priority number one this offseason. Do whatever it takes to re-sign OG Anunoby. I don't care about the injuries. The Knicks were 25-5 when Brunson and Anunoby played together. They were 14-2 when Brunson, Anunoby, and Randle played together. They were 500 when OG joined the team and he did not play. I think that tells you how much of an impact he has on winning, and he needs to be a New York Knick, and I have no doubt it'll get done. His son is Leon Rose, or his agent, is Leon Rose's son. I think that deal will get done. For Isaiah Hartenstein, though, the most money that they can offer him in a contract extension this offseason is a 4-year deal worth $72 million over the life of that deal. He has early bird rights, which means you can go up to 170% of a pay increase if you own the early bird rights. I believe that is what it is, but this number comes from Bobby Marks. He said it is 4 years, $72 million. I believe someone's going to offer him more than that. Will he stay and take a little bit of a discount? We're going to find out how bad he wants to be a member of this team. And I'm not going to be mad at him if he goes and secures the bag. He only got so many years to become a $100 millionaire in the NBA. Another move for the Knicks is Bojan Bogdanovic. Not a free agent, but he has a team option of $19 million. Only 2 of his $19 million is guaranteed. Knicks need to make a decision on that coming up in a couple of weeks. And I'm expecting that to be one of the early dominoes to fall. An offseason outlook for the New York Knicks. This comes from Bobby Marks of ESPN. He did a really good job breaking this down on his YouTube channel as well. Check him out over there. The Knicks have $156 million in committed salary. The tax threshold is $171. The first apron is $178. And there are severe restrictions when you could become an apron salary team. We'll talk more about what those apron ramifications are in the coming days. That includes both first-round picks, OG Anunoby player option, and unlikely bonuses. What to watch for? The cost to keep the roster together. The free agents, Anunoby and Hartenstein. The extensions. Is Brunson and Randle going to sign a new deal? The direction in the draft. You got 2 picks. Do you keep them or do you move them? A lot to unpack. But you know what? The Knicks are just getting started. This is year 1 of really being a title contender for what I would say is the next 6 seasons. As long as Jalen Brunson is on this team healthy, I have to start saying that a little bit more now. You're going to have an opportunity to compete for the Larry O'Brien. This is your draft capital over the next couple of years. You own the number 24 and number 25 pick in 2024. You also own pick 38, so an early second rounder. You have 4 first-round picks potentially in 2025, 8 tradable first-round picks, and 11 first-rounders in the next 7 years. You are loaded with draft capital. You can pay. You've got the assets to pay to play. Will they do it? In 2025, you have 4 first-round picks. 3 of them are protected from other teams. One of the first-round picks you have is a top 4 protected pick from the Milwaukee Bucks, top 13 from Detroit, top 10 from Washington, and their own first-round pick. If this pick does not convey, it rolls to 2026, then it's top 11 protected. If that does not convey, it rolls to 2027, and it's top 9 protected. If it doesn't convey then, I believe it becomes 2 second-round picks. Same song and dance for Washington. If this does not convey, it's top 8 next year. After that, 2 second-round picks. I am sad it's over. I am sad that the season is over for the New York Knicks. Disappointed in the first half performance. I don't know if I can say that was horrendous defense or just all-time shot making, but it just is what it is. I'm sad it's over, but I'm ready for what's next. This is step 1 of the Knicks going forward and continuing to be one of the best teams in the NBA. There's so much I could say about this team. Jalen Brunson, what a season. Dante DiVincenzo came into his own. He's going to be a big-time player. Josh Hart, got to have Hart. OG Anunoby, one of the best wing defenders in this league. Randle was on his way to be an all-NBA player again. Hartenstein may have outplayed his way to New York Knicks' budget. Robinson, good, but healthy. Bogey showed me he can hit big-time shots if they want to bring him back. I think my favorite part of the season was the emergence of Deuce McBride, man. Deuce McBride is a legit NBA player. And I'm just a little upset that I think that if a trade goes down, which they should, every team will be asking for Deuce McBride to be included. Salute to everybody on this team, man. It was a blast. I know I'm proud of them. It's the most proud I've ever been of the Knicks. If you are, hit that thumbs up icon for me if you are proud of the New York Knicks and the way that they represented the best city in the world. Make sure you are following me over on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Hit me up over there, and let's go Knicks.